Good evening, everyone. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the what is the database refresh and what are the prerequisites uh, before performing the database refresh and what are the things we need to consider. Generally, this is the very daily day-to-day activities for the DBA team. So irrespective of the level support, because if the shift having L1 or L2, L3, if we get a ticket, we need to perform as per the requirement. Sometimes we need to work on priority based as well. So here, what is the database refresh? Okay. So what is the database refresh means like refresh is nothing but the word called like a refresh. Refresh means like we are freshing up. The freshing up means like moving the production database backup one environment to another environment and by overwriting the existing data. This process is we call like a this process we can call like a database refresh. So here I have a one SQL server. In that I have one production database. So I want to refresh development database. I want to refresh from the production database backup. So for that, what I need to do, I need to take the production database backup and I need to restore here. While restoring, I have to overwrite the development data and I have to get the production database backup. So this production database backup may be staging environment or maybe this production backup we need to restore development environment, or maybe this production database backup we need to restore into QA environment. Sometimes we need to restore the staging environment to production environment with a go live activity. So refresh means kind of a replace the target database using the source database backup. That may be lower to like production to development or development to production. This process we can call like a database refresh. Okay. So generally we used to go for in the database environment, we'll go for the database refresh in the production to lower environment. That may be, as I mentioned, that may be development server or maybe that may be QA environment. Sometimes the same instance, the same SQL Server instance, development and QA database will be hosted. So for that, we have to take the production database backup and we have to overwrite the development of database using the production database backup. So sometimes, as I mentioned, we used to go for development to production. Why? Because still now the production is not at the operational. So we got a project. The development team will work 6 months or 4 months to get the or to meet the customer requirement, because the business is starting newly. So for that, what they're doing, they gave the project requirement to the one company. That company will give the development team and they will provide the requirement. I need these tables, I need this procedure, I need this screen, like I need the front end design. So for that, what they will do, they will do the all the testing and all the implementation on the development server. If they feel everything is good, what they will do, they will going to keep that development database to production for the new business start. So that scenario very rarely will go for the development database backup to production database will replace. Why? Because production database not at live. Not at live means it is not at using for the business. So that scenario we can call like a go live. Go live means like take the whatever the fulfill the process requirement data, take that data and replacing into the production. That scenario also we can call like a refresh. So interview, they will ask, what is the database refresh? So the database refresh is the process of the moving the database one environment to another environment, or maybe one server to another server, by replacing the target server database using source database backup. This process we can call like a database refresh. So before going to the database refresh, what is the prerequisites? What are the things we need to check? Okay. So the main prerequisite is like we need to check. We need to check. Suppose like this is the my production environment. Okay. I have a database called prod, and I have one more instance called development DB. So I got a requirement to refresh the production database to dev. So before going to do the refresh, we need to check some like prerequisites. What is that? So I need to check source. We need to check source server, target server, version. Why? Because the source server running SQL Server 2022. Okay. I'm going to restore that particular database to the 2019. That scenario we cannot restore. Why? Because from higher environment to lower environment. That means higher version to lower version we cannot restore. From lower environment or same environment or else greater than lower environment, we can able to restore. So that is the reason we need to check always the source and target server version. So here I will check like what is the source server version. No, version, yes, correct. For that, what you need to do? Go for select at the rate version. So I'm going to run the command. In the bottom, you can see, right, desktop and underscore lab. I'm going to run the check named instance version. So if I run it, I got the version number SQL Server 2022. So I'm good. So no need to bother about the edition. That may be enterprise, that may be standard, that may be web edition. No need to bother about. We need to check the only version. So the source server version is SQL Server 2022. I'm going to check the target server. What is the version? I'm going to check target server version. Just I ran it, select at the rate version. So here target also the same as the source. So I have a source 2022 is running and target I'm running 2022. So that means the source and target the same exact version. Suppose my source is SQL Server 2016. My target is SQL Server 2019 or 2017 or 2022. Then also it's fine. Why? Because we are going to restore the lower environment to higher environment. Suppose my source environment 2022 and my target environment 2016. That scenario we cannot restore it. Why? Because the source is SQL Server 2022 target is 2016. So higher to lower version is not possible. So what is the condition? First, source and target version is same, or target will target will equal or greater, not lower. That means my source is suppose SK 2019 version. Then I can be able to restore SQL Server 2019 or later 2019 version. That is 2022 or 2022. Suppose my source is SQL Server 2019, then target is SQL Server 2016. My target is below SQL Server 2019. That is SQL Server 2017 or SQL Server 2016 or 2014 or SQL 2020 or below. So,
Sir, your voice is a bit low.
now, hello.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm out of like for the speaker. Okay. So
Okay.
now you got my point, right? So if you want to restore the uh, database, the first we need to check the SQL Server version. The version always equal or higher, not lower. That is the first thing. The second thing is like we need to check uh, the source database size and the target database size. Okay. So we need to check source server database size. Okay. SP underscore help DB. So we need to check the source server database size using SP underscore help DB. So here my size is like 16. And I need to check uh, the same thing. I need to check target server database size. SP underscore help DB database name dev DB. Okay. So here we collected the database sizes. So why? Because what will happen? Our main goal is like we need sufficient free space on the target server to restore the production database back up to the target database. Suppose here my target database is like a 500 GB. Okay, and development database is I have 50 GB. So 50 GB. So if I want to replace production to development, then what will happen? the development database size will come. What is this? 500 GB. Come on. 500 GB. So here, development, how much I required? 450 GB, right? So for that, the main thing is like, we need to check the source and target server, how much free space on the disk. Okay. So first we need to check the source and target database sizes, and the same thing, and we need to check target server disk space. So for that, what we need to check? So if we go here, last time I told you, right, how to get the free space for the disk. So if I run xp underscore fixed drives, so it will provide only inside the free space. So it is providing inside the free space. So I want to get the complete, what is the total C drive space, what is the total E drive space, and how much free space inside. So for that, we need to use combination of the T-SQL. So for that, we can use our customized scripts, or maybe we can go and Google it and get the script. So for that, I have a script, okay. Just I collected from the. So if I copy here, so I'm going to run the target server, how much free space on the disk. So why E drive is not showing here? Okay. E drive is not showing. But we have another command that will provide source and target. Like suppose like here I have a 2 drives. So by looking at the value, we'll come to know. If I go to this PC or Windows Explorer, we can see what is the total drive and how much free space. Okay. Here also we can see what is the total and what is the inside free space. So for that, no need to go for this PC. Directly, we can run the command using T-SQL. That is xp underscore fixed drive, or else maybe you can use customized script that will provide total and see here. So here it is providing total and as well as the free space inside the total size and the free space of the disk. So that second prerequisite is, so first one is version check. The second thing is like target server, disk storage capacity. So we need to check target server capacity. The third thing is like, we need to check what are the taking the production database. Okay. That database backup is valid or not. Suppose if you take the fresh backup, no issues. But sometimes what we need to do, we need to go for last 30 days or 20 days backup to restore that particular database to target environment. So that time, what will happen? While copying the data to target server, or maybe keeping it to the 30 days, that backup file may be corrupted. So that is the reason we need to check that particular backup is valid or not. So we need to check backup file is valid or not. So we need to check backup valid or not. So for that, how can we check? So we have a command. Suppose I have a model database. So I want to check this database backup is valid or corrupted. So for that, we have a T-SQL, we can check it. If you go here, if you come here, new query, restore file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the backup to another location. From there, I will validate. I can directly validate. Suppose like here, thinking about the production, we kept the backup here. So I'm copying the backup from E drive to some other drive that may be here. So I'm keeping here. So while copying the data, it may be corrected, right? Why? Because it has to travel in the network and it has to keep. Or maybe that backup is like a old backup and somebody like any network issue or maybe while copying the data is copying partially or maybe somebody opened the file and corrupted. So for that, we need to check that the backup file is valid or not. So how can we validate? So the command is like restore verify only from disk equal to path. We have to provide the backup where it is located. So I'm giving here. So here, if you see the keyword restore, it is not going to restore anything. Just I'm verifying the backup file valid or not. So if I get the output like 1, then the backup is valid. Other than if you get anything, that backup is not valid. Okay. So we need to check it. Execute. So we got the output like the backup set is file 1 is valid. So that means our backup is valid. So that prerequisites is met. So one more thing is like the prerequisites. Okay. The prerequisites is like the production database. The production database will have the access for the production operations. So for that, we have the production. So here, come here. Databases. I'm going to do here. Yeah. If I go for security, here, I don't have any users, but in the real time, the production having 100 users. And the production, like suppose like if you take a like a Reliance, the Reliance are having multiple users. Multiple users means like multiple stores. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, like a kind of a every branch they have one site. Each user will go and log into the work. So for that they need the user. So tomorrow I will cover that security, the login and users topic. You can understand, but now you can get this prerequisites. Okay, the production having 100 users. That 100 users having only for production environment. So coming to the development, the 100 users don't have access. The development server having the access for the development team, not for the actual users. So here what we are going to do, we are going to replace the production database backup to development database. If you take the production data and replacing to the development data, what will happen? The developer users will go and the production users will come. So once we refresh, what we need to do? We need to keep the same users which are previously having development. We should not keep the production users. So for that, we need to take the development users before overwriting. Why? Because if it is 1 or 2 users, we can take the script out. But if I have 100 users, very difficult to find out, right? What are the development users will have access. So for that, we need to take the script out for the users information and as well as the permissions. So for that, we have a customized scripts. If you run that, it will provide the user and permission information. Just take that input and save the output to the one of the output. Once we restart and database restored successfully completed, then we have to execute that user script. So that is the prerequisites. The fourth prerequisites is take the target database user and permissions before restore the database backup. Backup from source DB. Okay. For that, we have a custom script. Or maybe we can check sp underscore help user, but it's very difficult. Okay. If you go for here, sp underscore help user. If I run it, it will provide what are the users and what are the permissions here. What are the permissions we have? That will right now I don't have any users. But suppose I have 1,000 users, we have to take SP and go to the target database, then run the SP underscore help user. Okay. That will provide only the permissions, not for the user name, like user passwords. So once we replace the production to development, the no more the user information will exist. So for that we have to create and we have to map it. So that is the reason we have to take the user script. So I will check it here. So, okay. Yes. Database user information and permissions before restoring the function database. How to get the database information and permission before restoring the production database. In that need user. What, what, get basic. Yeah, so it is providing two scripts. It will provide all the user information. The second script is like what are the permissions we have. Split the exact explicit paragraph. So we have to run this three script and you have to save the output. Once the database is restored, you have to execute. Okay. So in the real time, what we can do, we can club the all the script one like all these scripts in the one T-SQL script and we can run it. Suppose here, I will run one by one. Okay. This is the users. Take the output and save it. Then no, it looks like the script is not correct. Okay. Yes, because I need this one, because once we restore, all the users information will go on, right. So I need the user creation. Restore. Here I don't have like a any users. So that is the reason I did not get. If I create the new users, I will get it. So like that, we have to take the user and permissions, and we have to save it in the notepad. Once we restored, we need to uh, execute after restore. Okay. So let me go through the practical. So one more thing. Here, just clearly observe. I'm going to the production database. If I go for the production database, then right click, then go for properties, then go for files. Here check it. So you have a logical name. Oh, because I restored the previously the database from development to log. So that's the reason I'm seeing the log. Let me drop this one. Correct. New database. Prod. Created. In the production, I'm creating the table. Right click. New table. Column name. ID. Data type. Int. One is enough. I'm entering the data. But you people have to practice like T-SQL, how to create the table, how to enter the data. Okay. Editors. Just I'm entering the data. One, two, three. Just save it. So now I want to refresh the production database to development. Okay. So if I go for development, I don't have any tables. I don't have any tables. If I refresh from production to table, that table will come. Okay. So here just observe it. Okay. Why? Because every database having logical file name and as well as the physical file name. Okay. So if I go here, if I go for files, we can see the name. This is the logical name. It will be stored in the metadata in the master database, and actual data will be stored in the this physical location. So here logical name for the MDF, the logical file name for the LDF, and the physical file name of the log file. This is for the production database. If I go for development, right click, properties, If I go here, if I go files, here we can see development logical server name for the data file and the logical server name of the log file and respectively MDF and LDF file names. Okay. So here I'm going to refresh. That means I need to take the backup and I have to restore it. So now I'm going to take the backup. Which location I will take it? I will take it here only. So, backup database name prod to disk equal to restore, then prod. I will give the whole date. Okay, uh, August 20th dot BAK. So I have a backup. So now I want to restore. The first prerequisite is check the source and target one command. So we ran the command select at server name that first prerequisites are meet. The second prerequisite is check the how much like storage capacity, how much disk space we have availability. So for that, what we need to log into that particular machine, okay, that particular computer, or maybe that particular node, okay, log into that particular computer and log into then once you log into that particular target server, if you go to this PC, we can see the drives, how much free space. And also we can check it, as I mentioned, from XP underscore fixed drives. XP underscore fixed drives. Fixed drives. XP underscore FRAI fixed drives. Yeah. So I ran the fixed drive. My target server having E drive, that is having how much 142 GB. So that 140 GB capable to hold the production database or not. Why? Because the production database always bigger than the development. Suppose production database, as I mentioned, 500 GB and development database is having 400 GB. So that means I required 100 GB extra on the target server. So here the target server I'm having 142 GB. That means the storage capability I am good. The third step is like I need to check that backup is valid or not. So for that, what I'm going to do, like I need to copy the data backup from source location to target location. Source location to target location. Once we copy it, just check it. This is valid or not. So here I take the production database backup. Here where I'm going to check, log into the target server, run the command to validate on the target server. Or maybe source also fine. Always better to run on the target server to check the backup valid is or not. Why? Because we need to copy the backup from file share to the target server. Or maybe sometimes we can directly restore from the file share. Open new query in the target server. Just check it. Restore, verify only from disk equal to path, then rename it, come here. So let me verify. Let me execute. So backup file is validated. So 3 prerequisites are completed. So what I need to do? The fourth step is I need to take the user information. That may be custom script. Okay. I will provide the tomorrow the custom scripts. We can use that. Okay. So the fourth step is we need to take the custom scripts for the user and as well as permissions. Once it's done, we have to start restore the database from the backup. Here, what I'm going to do is copy it. Okay. So the restoration will be done from as per our convenient. We may need to go for graphical user interface or maybe T-SQL. Okay. So here, first time I'm going to show the restore from the graphical user interface. While going for graphical user interface also, I will generate the T script. Okay. So here I'm going to restore. So from production to development, right? So go to the development database, right click, then go to task, then go to restore, then go to database. In that page, just check it, and we need to provide some information like from the where the backup is located. That backup is located on the disk, or maybe that backup is located on the Azure URL. So right now our backup is located on the device. That means computer. That may be virtual machine. So I need to select device. Then come to the last 3 dots. Just click it. Then go to add. Once we add, we have to search for where the backup file we copied. So we copied the source database backup to E drive. Go to E drive, then go to backup file share, then click here, and you have to, if you click here in the right hand side, we can see the backup file. Then click OK. So this is the first step. We need to select the database backup where it is located. That is the first thing. That option will available in the general. So the second step is very careful. So the very careful means like we are bringing the production database backup and restoring into the development, right? So here, if you go to the files will be stored from the production database backup. So those files, we need to move it as per the development server location. So go here, go to files. Here, if you see here, the backup, we have taken the production. So that is the reason the logical file names we are seeing like a prod and as well as prod log. The production database logical file name, production MDF, production LDF. The original files are where it is located. CSQL prod.mdf, C prod.ldf. But these files we are going to replace the development database files. So for that, we are so you want to keep the location in the this particular default locations, or you want to keep the drives where we have a space. Suppose here, if I go here, go to desktop, I want to get that particular dev database where the files are going. sp underscore helpdb If you run it, it will provide where the files are going. So the files are going to C drive. I want to keep this location, or else I want to keep this files to different location. That thing we can define. So what we can do, we can keep restore database files to this location, or maybe we can use a relocate. So that means sometimes we don't have much free space for the existing database file locations. For that scenario, we can move the files to the different location. So right now, I'm going to keep uh, the same drive what the development database is going. Okay, I'm not going to move any location. I'm going to keep the development server database files where it is going. But the thing is like once we move it, the files we can see as the production file names, not for the development. If you see here, the development files we can see devdb, devlog, the extension also we can see devdb and devlog. Once we replaced the production database backup, these files will be replaced from the production database files. So here this is the one thing, and one more option. Last week I told you, right, tile log backup. So the tile log backup, the thing is like two scenario. If you want to existing database wants to go to the restore mode to restore the backup, or the whenever the database is corrupted, that time will take the tile log backup. So here, if you go for options, leave the database. Okay. Here tile log backup is not available. That is okay. But sometimes what we will ask, take tile log backup and restore it. So here tile log backup is unchecked. That is okay. So the thing is like we want to go for the overwrite that call like with replace. If we keep with replace, what will happen? The production database will replacing the development data using production. We have one more option, the replication. So that will option will discussion on the replication technology while configuring. So this is the one of the technology for the moving the database objects. That is different story. We'll explain it. Why? Because while restoring, what will happen? The database will go to the from online state to restoring mode. Once the backup is restored, we can see the online state. So that time, if we configure any replication, the replication will break it. So if you want to don't want to break it, we have to select this option. If the database is configured in the replication. The other thing is like this is the option. Restore the database as a restricted user. That means while restoring the database, okay, if the particular database, any development user, any some other user using, that time it won't allow the your refresh activity. So before overwriting, terminate the all the users which are connected to the development databases. Then start the restore with replace. Suppose I want to start the restore or refresh the database from production to development. I did not give the notice to the development users. What will happen? The development users will connect and they will do there some testing. So if they're doing any testing, what will happen? Some background sessions will connect. If the database is using, that won't allow to do the restore. We have to terminate. That scenario, we can use restrict. So here I'm going to select the overwrite existing database and I'm going to select restrict the access to the database restricted user. So here, why is closing connections? So generally what will happen? Uh, this option will be enabled, okay? So like close existing connections to the destination. If we click this option, what it will get? It will terminate the all the sessions and it will restore. But if we go for restricted user, that means it will go to the, let me check it, restricted single. So we have to select override and as well as restricted. Let me skip it. I want to check the what is the restricted. Restricted, that is okay. So let me glow on kick. Okay. So here what I'm going to do in the general option, select the device and select the backup file where it is located. The second important thing is files. So in that files, we have to be careful. If you want to keep the files development where the files are located in the original files, or maybe if you want to relocate, you can relocate the location. We can choose it. And the third option is we have to always overwrite with existing replace, then go for the restricted user. Then click OK. I'm going to click OK. What do I got here? Access denied. So attempt to second. The competition access denied. CSQL unreliable access. CSQL drives are corrupted. PSQL en. Let me see pen drive. The operating system error accident while attempt to restore container. Why? Let me answer this. While attempt to restore container. File port cannot be restored with move enter with the valid location. Go for tasks. Then I will go for restore database. It is basically like telling you to move the commands, okay? Because we are bringing the data, right? So let me go for device, go for here, go for add. I'm adding the here. I'm going the backup file, go here, click OK, then click OK. Then I'm going to relocate. It's kind of like with more. We'll see. I want to keep this file in the some other location. That I want to keep. I want to keep. Both I'm keeping data and log in the same time. Then here, see here, the production logical file names and we restoring as a here. If you want to, you can change it also here. But the logical file names we cannot modify. But physical file names we can modify it while registering the time. Go for options. Go for override. Then I will go for script. Query window. So here I'm replacing here the production data. This is the developer database. This is the production database backup. The production database backup, what we have? One file called like this is the production logical file name, and which location I want to keep it. Okay, and this is the production log file, and which location we want to keep it. Here the move option. This is the logical file name where I want to keep in the disk. So here after move keyword, what are the name we are seeing that is a logical file name. This file name we cannot change it, but after to what are the swing extension, that is the physical file location name, we can change it. So I'm changing like a dev today date 13th 2025. If you want to, you can change it, or else you can leave it. Click here, then go here, click here. So let me execute first graphical user interface. Then I will go for execute these things. So here select the backup file location, then go to the files, the production database backup files where we want to keep. Data file, which location you want to keep. Log file, which location you want to keep. While restoring it, which extension you want to keep it. Okay. If you want to keep it prod, you can keep it. If you want to keep it prod log, you can keep it. But always keep it to the development naming convention. So here we cannot keep the logical file names with as per our naming convention, but we can keep only physical file location. Then go for options, overwrite. So let me execute. If you go here, you want to restoring state. Come here. It looks like it's failed. What is failed? Go here. So some logs is there. Okay, it is telling exclusive access could not because database in use. So here some background process connected to the our database. That is the reason it is not allowing the connections. So first we need to find out and we have to restore it. So generally, if we go for this option will be enable. Okay, it will close existing connections. That means it will keep the database in the single user mode and it will start restore. So let me terminate all the sessions which are connected to the development database. So here one connection is opened. Okay, that is the reason I want to close this one. So here this is that is okay. Connect to the master. If you go here, this is a master, that is okay. This is a master. See here, one more you can see dev somewhere dev. This is the one connection is open. So if you want to get the particular sessions, okay, what are the sessions are connected to the particular databases? How can you check it? Go for select from system sys process. If you run it, what are the processor connected to the our server? But I need the only one database that is related to dev. So what I need to do? DB ID. Based on DB ID, I need to get it. SP underscore help DB. If I go here, or dev DB ID is DB06. So if you go here, where DB ID equal to 6. DB ID equal to 6. It will provide what are the connections are connected to the other database. So we need to terminate all, then we have to start restore. So for that, we need to keep the single user mode and we have to restore it. So let me close this one. Try to restore from the graphical user. I don't have here. I don't have here. I don't have here. Go here. Why? Cannot tell. Let me go. Let me try one more time. Go for development, then task, then restore, database, then go for device, then select it, add, where the backup file is located, E, and then backup file, save, production, click OK. Once you click OK, then I have to go for files. I have to relocate which location I want to. Go here. I want to keep the E drive, where it is. E drive. Go for data. Click OK. I want to keep here. Okay. Options. Go for here. With recovery, that is okay. Prompt before restoring each backup. Let me go for it. If it is not allowing, then I'll go for a T-SQL. Still some connections are there. It is not allowing. So still some connections are there. Okay. So what we need to do? The database could not be in the use. So what I'm going to do? Did I take the script? No, if I go here, click here, new query. No. Let me script out and I will terminate all the sessions one more time. Script, database, device, add, go for E. The backup and restore always go for the T-SQL. Okay, that is easy because if you want to terminate, we can terminate and we can keep the database single user mode and some other operations. Okay, go for files, the relocate, data, files, replace, script, new query window. Let me close all the sessions. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the database single user mode. That means no other users to connect. Only one user, that is this database. Let me go for use master. Okay, then I have to go for alter database, database name, with chat single underscore user. So here, if you run it, it will go for single user mode. But while single user mode, it will wait for other, like what are the users are connected it wait until the sessions are closed manually. So for that, what we need to do, we have to go for with rollback immediately. That means what are the sessions are connected, no need to bother about, terminate them uh, and keep the database in single user mode so that our connection will go. So always we need to run the command like alter database name, set single underscore user with rollback immediate. If you forgot to keep with rollback immediate, database will try to keep the single user mode, but it will wait for the what are the connections, what are the users are connected, it will wait until completed. So that is the reason we need to keep the database single user mode and then start the restoring command. So I'm restoring. So the restoring command is like we have to go for replace. If you're not using replace, we'll get the error database already existing. So we have to go for replace. And one more keyword like a stats that will provide how much percentage backup is completed. Let me execute here. Oh, see here, it's terminated the users. Then it start the restore. Restore is completed. So now go to the development database. So here run it. fp underscore help db dev db. If you run it, what will happen? So here, if you run it, the database name is dev, but file names we are seeing prod and prod log. The extensions we can see like a prod and prod log. Why? Because here we have given. Okay, so that is the reason we can see. If you want to go to graphical user interface, then what you need to do? Go to here, go to dev, right click, properties, then go to files. We can see it. So here database name is a dev, but if you see here prod and prod log. Okay. The other important thing is like we need to check the backup is coming from the production different server, right? So that is the reason if we go for options, the options we can see the compatible level which are set from the production database backup. So this value is coming from the production. Okay. So here I will go for one more time by changing the values. So right now we refresh it. So we want to check that the data is coming or not. If you go for dev db, then we go for tables, go for here table. Data is coming, right? So that is the refresh process. So here I want to show one more thing. Okay. So I want to go for one more time. I don't want to keep the physical file names like a plot. If you go for the disk, by looking at the names, what I can assumption, this is belongs to production, but actually these are belongs to development. So that is the reason I want to keep like a development naming convention. So dev 132025 go for okay. So I want to go for one more restore. So the keyword is like first we need to keep the database single user mode. After that, actual restore start. Restore is the keyword. Database is the keyword. After that, name of the database which we want to restore. Then from is the keyword. So which location we want to pull it. So that is the reason we have to keep from. If it is disk, we have to keep disk. If it is URL, we have to keep URL. After that, the location of the backup, which drive and which folder, what is the file name, the backup. So that is we have to provide it. After that, we have to use with is the keyword. Why? Because we want to move the files to different locations. So that is the reason with is the keyword. So in the with is the after that which files we want to keep it. This production database having two files. One is MDF, another is LDF. These files, which location I want to keep it and which file names I want to name it. So here, after the move, we cannot change the file name, but after the two, we can change it as per our naming convention. So now I'm going to restore one more time. Go and execute. it is executed. So just run it. So here the database name, it did not change, and the physical file names, it did not change, but the logical file names, it changed it. Suppose you want to test it. Okay, I want to test it. Can I change it to the logical names to development? Just try it. Dev 13 2025. Dev 2025. If I give that, we will get the error. Can you give the logical name belongs to this backup file? Okay, we will get the error. Why? Because as I mentioned, we cannot change the logical file names. So I want to keep the logical file names same as development. Any name. I want to change it. Just it. So if you try that, what we will get the error? Keep the backup file set, file names accordingly. Then we have to move it. We'll get the error. We'll see what error we'll get it. Just I'm parsing the command. The command is parsed. Then go and execute. If you execute, what is it telling? The logical file name devtip is not part of the devtip. The restore file list only check it. So that means it's telling the devtip we are doing from the this backup. So go and check the restore file list only from this year and use these files accordingly. Then only start the restore. So here I'm going to check it. Restore file list only. So why? Because the backup file name from the unknown server. I don't know what are the files inside the backup. So that is the reason before restore, just check it. What are the files we have? The thing is like what I mentioned previously, just validate the backup file is valid or not. So here, one more thing is like, I need to validate what are the files inside the that particular backup. So what I'm going to do, restore file FILI list only. So if you think like restore, it is not going to do anything. It is just checking what are the files inside. Restore file list only from disk. Restore file list only. Correct. Restore file list only from the security path. So in that backup file name, we'll get it. What are the files we have? What are the physical files you have? What is the size? And what is the max size? So the thing is like our main prerequisites, initially what I said, we need to check the source and target database size. So suppose the source database provided from the unknown user, or maybe that is provided from the other environment. That time we don't know, right? What is the database size? So for that, how can we check it? The database size by looking into the backup file, we cannot estimate that is the database size. So if you want to estimate the database size using backup, for that what we need to do, we need to run restore file list only from disk equal to path. If you run it, it will provide the what are the files inside and what is the those files size. So if we go for size here, that will provide the KBs. So we have to convert this KBs to MBs and MBs to GBs. Then we'll get the exact size of the database. So here the database size, how can we get it? This production, this backup file having two files. One is MDF, one is LDF. The production MDF size is this many kbs. We need to convert the so that we can get the production MDF size. The same thing as the log file. So as per the error, we get the error. Give the logical names accordingly. So this is the logical name I'm keeping here. Which location I want to keep it, we can have as per our convenient. That is existing on the target server, and this file names we can give as per our naming convention. Always give database name devdb, then go for another file name, keep it here. I'm going to keep the as per the data naming convention devdb. I'm going to execute. So if I execute, database executes successfully. And if I run one more time, sp underscore helpdb. If you execute, if you see the production, the last database name is dev, but last file name, the prod and prod log. Why? Because we cannot change it. Here, file names, we can change it. So this is the restoration happen. Once the restoration happen, what we need to do? The other thing is like before restoring, we have taken the script information for the users. The same script, you have to take it from the output file. Just you have to come in and you have to execute so that users will map it. This is the database refresh. Do you have any doubts? Let me stop the recording. Then I will take 5 minutes break and I will go for one more scenario in the database refresh. Okay. Let me go for stop recording. There it is. Stop.